good morning, and welcome to Try a Chapter Tag. Or it's not really a tag because I'm not tagging anyone, I just do this. I used to do it all the time, but I obviously haven't because I took like a year off. And now I'm going to be doing it again because it sounds really fun and because I'm trying to get a video up every Monday. My Monday, I think your Sunday. Unless you're in like Japan Standard Time or like in the middle of Australia. I'm digressing. The point is, if you're not familiar with it, I'm going to be trying the first chapter of every one of the books on my TBR and then seeing which one I want to start with. This is actually taking place a little before the beginning of April, so I can kind of start up a little bit of a reading list of things I might be in the mood for as I mood read. Just kind of saves time because I am a mood reader. Sometimes I'll start a book and then realize part of the way through that I'm actually not in the mood for that. So instead, I read the first chapter and then go from there. Also, if you aren't familiar with my TBR list, I will go ahead and link my video up there because, you know, taking a year off booktube, the algorithm kind of hates you. But first, breakfast. Okay, I was going to curl my hair and make it look nice for you guys, but one of my deals to myself in order to like make content was that I can only do things for me. I have to do things for me first to be able to do things for you, and I was just not. There was no oomph. But I do have oomph to read. The only books I'm not going to be reading in this video are Hero of Ages, because I'm already 50% of the way through. That is the third book in the Brandon Sanderson Mistborn trilogy. I already know how I'm feeling about that, and it's really good. It's just really long, and I don't want it to kind of end. Like, this is the end of the Mistborn trilogy. I know that there's a second trilogy, but I'm not starting that till later. I want to go back. Point being, I'm not doing that. Focus. I have to find the first chapter of Carrie Soto is back online because the Audible credit that I get doesn't come out until April 1st, and so I can't get it yet. We have Vengeful, Mexican Gothic, Nothing to See, Gideon the Ninth, Legends and Lattes, which I also have a physical copy. Well, my friend has a physical copy and she's letting me borrow it. The Honeys, Jade City, and then my last one is actually Black Sun, which was not on my original TBR. Black Sun is by Rebecca Roanhorse, and I will be doing a wrap-up that's coming out where I talk about this a little bit more, but I read Rebecca Roanhorse's short story, Tread of Angels, and I gave it a 3. However, it completely hooked me as far as Rebecca Roanhorse's writing style. I suddenly had such an urge to read Black Sun. That's why I promised you Getting the Ninth, because I did take off Song of Silver, Flame Like Night, because I knew I wouldn't be able to get to every single book on this list if I just kept on tacking on more. So I traded one out, and because I own Song of Silver, Flame Like Night physically, I just have less urgency to read it. So the last book on this list that I'll be reading is Black Sun. I'm gonna start with Vengeful, and I'll get back to you after I read that first chapter, but if you have a guess for which book you think I'm going to continue reading and will be my first pick for the book I'll be focusing on first in April, go ahead and let me know down below. Let's see if you're right. I'll let you know at the end of this video. Okay, it's really hard to film on this hammock, by the way, so I don't know if I'll be keeping this up for the entire video. I just listened to the first chapter, I think prologue and first chapter of Vengeful, and oh man. Okay, so there were 2 murders in one chapter, which is completely on par with the first book, Vicious, so I'm really, really happy with it. I feel like we started with momentum, and so that's gonna be easier to just pick up momentum, because where it left off was like, I was ready to just pick up the next book. I was so mad that Libby told me I had like 3 or 4 weeks before I could pick this up again, because I was going to read the second book in March. I just wanted to finish this duology immediately. The first chapter was really good. I'm not sure like where this story is exactly gonna go. I have some ideas based off of the first book, but prologue actually had like a different POV, like a new person was being introduced. And so yeah, the setup with that was really interesting, and I'm looking forward to it. This was an easy first pick as far as like which first chapter I want to try first, because I've been waiting to try this chapter. Next up is Mexican Gothic, which I don't need headphones for because I have it physically. I am really excited for this one. Silvia Morena Garcia also wrote A different book that I really enjoyed. It wasn't Jade City. It had the word Jade in it. Oh god. Gods of Jade and Shadow. Oh my god, that might be the name of it. I really enjoyed that book. It was just like a good standalone. So I know she can do a standalone, and I believe Mexican Gothic is indeed a standalone. I also have not read a lot of horror. I read What Moves the Dead in February or March and really enjoyed it, and it was a short story, so I want to see what more I can do as far as like enjoying horror goes. What is my horror type? I want to know. Yeah, no, this is definitely my last hammock update. It's hard because I have like wave dyslexia. Paragraphs kind of like shift, and then I'm also like the book is shifting. I feel like I'm at sea, and I'm not motion sick, but it does make the reading process a little more difficult than it needs to be. Back to Mexican Gothic. This did not start how I thought it was going to start. I very much so was expecting like it to kind of already set up a creepy vibe. Instead, this was a very like fun vibe. You have this girl named Noemi, and she is coming back from a party. I don't know if we get multiple POVs, but I don't mind being in Noemi's POV at all. She's like super cool. Like she's chic, she's intelligent, she's not scattered in her thoughts whatsoever. She has like very concise thoughts, but she just like doesn't care. She doesn't care, she doesn't give a shit, but she also is very intelligent. And I like her a lot. I don't know how she'll do in a scary situation because it doesn't seem like much scares her. Just from how she was talking to her father, there's definitely a sexist, like dynamic between them. Very traditional home, but she's growing up in Mexico City, so she's out partying and stuff like that. And they don't seem like they have a toxic relationship. He's just doesn't understand her, and she doesn't understand him, but they can clearly love each other. They seem like a very loving family. It just wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting straight into like eeriness, or that I would feel something looming or something like that. But like if she just like hung out and partied in Mexico City, I would probably have a good time. First impressions, I really like the main character, and the chapter itself felt really short, but when I looked back it was like 15 pages long, so that's very promising. Next up, I'm going to be listening to Nothing to See Here, and that has like combusting children, but first I'm gonna go back inside and kind of get set up there because again, the motion, the flowing, I'm going inside. Okay, so hi. I didn't stray very far from the hammock because it's so nice outside. Nothing to see here. It was a very easy introduction. We got the initial setup of this book in chapter 1, which is nice. And I kind of like, I don't know exactly how this is all going to mesh together, but it was really easy to listen to. The narrator has a very like southern accent, kind of drawl to her, and like she seems just like chill. These two friends, one is affluent, one is from a lower income family, became friends, and like the rich friend is asking our main character to watch over her children, or it's like her stepchildren. And I don't know much more, but yeah, it was really easy to read and like really nice, and like, I don't know, it was casual. Like I wanted a cup of like sweet tea. Also gave me like really strong American vibes. I don't know how else to explain that, where I was just like, oh yeah, America, that place. Not a homesickness, I'm not from the South, I'm from Alaska, but it definitely had that drawl to it that reminds me of one of my grandparents, so yeah, that was nice. Okay, on to the next. Hi, hello. I was just trying to listen to Gideon the Ninth. I need like less stimulation. I don't know how else to put it. I'm gonna go inside to listen to Gideon the Ninth and really try and take this in, because I just got like a lot thrown at me all at once, and this is my promise book, so I need to take it very seriously. Okay, as I was saying before, my camera so rudely interrupted and died. Yeah, I can't DNF Gideon the Ninth. Like that's part of the promise rule, is that I have to read it. I noticed I was not fully taking in what was happening, and this chapter is like quick. So I'm gonna re-listen to Gideon the Ninth. I'm gonna be fully immersed. I'll give you like a small tour of my room since I will literally just be laying here like a mummy for however long this takes, and then I'll get back to you with my actual thoughts. okay. So, yeah, now I'm into Gideon the Ninth. That was actually a really good first chapter. I've been so nervous to read Gideon the Ninth that, like, I don't even know what I was expecting. But this immediately was high intensity, high action, cursing, sci-fi. It was very, very good. I'm a little overwhelmed, but I'm also excited. I know for sure I'm not going to pick this one up first. It is very interesting, but it's so intense. I don't want to be overwhelmed by this book. I kind of want to start strong in the reading month and then like be ready for Gideon the Ninth. And I also think I want to give its own time slot to read so that I can just read it all the way through and it doesn't end up like end of the month, last priority. Because yeah, I think I want to read Gideon alone. I don't think I'll be reading other books while I read Gideon. Let's see, what do we have up next? Just had an idea actually while I was filming like B-roll, Mummified. I'm going to only read Legends and Lattes at coffee shops. I will be reading Legends and Lattes in this video, but we're gonna go to a coffee shop. Next up is Carrie Soto. I'm gonna go ahead and try and find Carrie Soto online and get back to you if I can find it. All right, so not ideal, but I did find it. First found part of the first chapter on a website, but it also has a paywall. I wasn't able to read like the very end sentence of the first chapter. So then I went to YouTube and somebody reads it out loud. This was not a legit process, but it did work as far as me getting the entire first chapter of Carrie Soto, and I will be buying it and making like a transactional understanding between me and the author on the 1st of April. So Carrie Soto, I knew I was going to read probably and enjoy no matter what. It's Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I think everything I've read from her I've given at least a 4-star. It was like just setup. There was a father-daughter dynamic I thought was interesting. It seemed actually kind of supportive. I don't know if it gets toxic later, but it seemed supportive in the moment. You have like this tennis match going on, and it's like very high stakes because Carrie Soto is retired. The new girl's about to break Carrie Soto's record, and Carrie Soto's watching, and she knows the cameras are watching, and she's talking to her dad, prompting a conversation for Carrie Soto to come out of retirement. It was good, and I don't have too much more to say about it. I'll be rereading that first chapter for sure. Okay, sorry. I know that this video is totally chaotic. I'm gonna get a little bit more ready, and I think I'm kind of stir crazy. So I'm gonna curl my hair. I'm gonna look a little less, I don't know what this is, bedraggled. And then we're gonna go out and like go walk, look at the Sakura. I'm gonna stop by my friend's house and try and steal her copy of Legends and Lattes. This is going to continue to be chaotic, switching locations. I hope it's mildly interesting to you, and if not, I have plenty of other videos where I'm just, you know, sitting there. So it's just too nice of a day to sit inside and film. Like, I just can't. I can't do it right now, guys. I'm sorry I'm everywhere, but you're gonna come with me, so you're everywhere too. I honestly don't know why I tried with my hair. It didn't work. I woke up this morning and it was already giving me attitude, so I don't know why I bothered to try and curl it, but I did add eyeshadow. We're a little bit more ready for the day. I'm going out now. I can't stand being trapped any longer. And my friend Lindsay, saint of all things fanciful and spontaneous, said yes, I could jump over to her house, grab the book, and then disappear into the nothing so that I can read Legends and Lattes at a coffee shop today. Those are our plans. We're gonna go out into the world, we're going to extract a book, and then we're gonna read it at a coffee shop, along with 3 other books. Alright, so locally, I just found the most beautiful spot. We're gonna go ahead and walk through this Sakura trail. I'm also gonna be listening to the Honeys on audiobook while we walk through and just, yeah, enjoy the time, and then I'll get back to you as soon as I finish the first chapter of Honeys. Absolutely freaking gorgeous. I can't believe I live here, but not the point of this video. So the Honeys, really, like, I love the writing style already. It's disturbing. Like, the things that are happening are like really well, prettily written, but also awful. Like, just right off the bat, I'm like, oh, this is awful. It seems like the main character's sister is having some sort of possible nervous breakdown or something like that. They're having a hard time. It was a very intense scene with really beautiful scenery, so that was interesting juxtaposition, but also a lot of fun. I'm going to listen to Black Sun on my walk back, and then I will go to a coffee shop and read Legends and Lattes. Let's see if I have the guts to film in public. There's quite a bit of people around, but everyone's enjoying the sakura blossoms today, so I really can't blame them. There's this little bench area where it has just a whole bunch of cinder blocks set up like tables. It's like raining petals because it's the end of the season. I'm sorry. I know that's not the point of this. It's just so freaking pretty. What's not pretty was the first chapter of Black Sun. I didn't get to talk to you in between me reading Legends and Lattes, but let's go back to Black Sun because that was a moment. Holy crap. The intensity of that scene and how it played out and like the cliffhanger ending, wow. That was a first chapter. Like, that is a chapter that makes an impact. The entire thing was really intense. It was a lot, and like, it just wow. It wowed. Gosh, I'm gonna so intensely be embarrassed because someone's walking by as I'm filming myself. Yeah, he thinks I'm an idiot. I could tell by the look on his face. You're not wrong. Anyway, I went to one of my local coffee shops. It's one I really enjoy. Got a coffee, and this is how I'm going to read Legends and Lattes. I might even make a vlog out of it. I think that would be really fun. I will only be able to read Legends and Lattes until I finish my coffee, and then I have to put it away. This was such a cozy freaking, like, cute. Got to meet Viv, the main character, and she, like, goes into this town. She's new to town, and she, like, buys an old barn and is just, like, getting set up. And then this town doesn't really know anything about coffee, so she's, like, introducing coffee. It's highly praised as like being the ultimate cozy fantasy. I think reading this book in different coffee shops and just really just taking my time, enjoying my coffee, and then having this orc also make coffee, I just think it's gonna be really great. Yeah, no, it was just good. It definitely had like Stars Hollow vibes as far as like we're gonna get used to like the different people, and yeah, I'm just really excited for it. I'm gonna go ahead and head back, listen to Jade City, and then we'll have a full scope of what we're dealing with in the month of April, and then we'll talk a little bit about each book and like kind of categorize it a little bit. This vlog is almost over. I didn't know it was a vlog. It was supposed to be pretty standard like sit down video, but that's not what happened. Okay, I am back home. I listened to Jade City, and then as soon as I got home, I took some notes because I don't want to lose track of everything. There's actually quite a few books I'm reading, so I don't want to lose track. I want this to be good. Let's see here. Oh, look at that. They're dirty, but I can see. Black Sun, The Honeys, Jade City. Check, check, check. This is not necessarily the one I'm starting, but the best chapter I read in this video was Black Sun. It was really well written. It was super vivid imagery along with the cliffhanger. It was just a good freaking first chapter. Like, I will be astonished if you read the first chapter of Black Sun and put it down. How did you do it? The restraint. Then the easiest read was Nothing to See Here, for sure. It was just like simple, straightforward. I don't know how it's going to work as far as like the entire dynamic of the story. Like, I don't know where the story's going, but I feel like the story is a bit easy. It's not something that's trying to be profound. It's just trying to get its message across in its own way. And I just liked it. It was nice. Least interested. I guess I didn't talk about Jade City because I just got home and started writing these notes. It says Jade 25 times in the first chapter. 25 times. I am going to become numb to my own name. There's no way around it. I get it. I get that my name is also a word. I get that it's a color. I get that it's a Crayola color crayon. I also really, really had a little bit of a hard time with it just because it said my name so many times, and it's your name. It's your name. And I don't hear my name very often. So usually if I hear my name, it's because someone's talking to me. So that was a thing. It was a little overwhelming. There was a lot of action, so it was like a mugging scene, but I was getting a lot of words that I didn't understand, people or roles that they play, magic system. It was a lot of world building and just a lot of intensity. I was feeling a little overwhelmed in Jade City. Going back to my least interested chapters, I'm really surprised because these are two of the most renowned books on my list, but Jade City and Carrie Soto is back. That doesn't mean that they're bad books. I've only read the first chapter of each of these, but as far as like, if I was just picking these up without any knowledge, background, or like high praise, I might not pick them up as quickly. I won't be picking up either of those first. There's just no way. It could get really slumpy really quickly, and then I would have a shit reading month. Which brings me to which book I'm going to read first. Maybe you put something in the comments guessing, maybe you didn't. If you guessed Nothing to See Here, you would be correct. The reason why it's not Black Sun, because I really do want to pick up Black Sun immediately. I think that book is going to be profoundly awesome, and I also think it's going to really like wreck me and it's going to be disturbing. I want to start off strong in this reading month but I don't want to start off with the best because that can slump me too. I read Babel by R.F. Kuang, and I couldn't give another 5-star for like half the month, and I had a fantastic reading month. I read amazing books, but I had also read Babel, so I just could not. And I feel like Black Sun is in that same vein. I have very high expectations. Like, that is a 5-star prediction for sure. So I'm not starting with it because I would like to enjoy these books. I'm starting easy. I'm starting with my iced tea. So Nothing to See Here will be the first book I read. Next up, I want to say Mexican Gothic just because I think the main character is really cool. Like, I want to know her. Then Vengeful because not only is it a Libby app download, but it's also like one of my most anticipated. If I can get through Nothing to See Here, Mexican Gothic, and Vengeful, Gideon the Ninth should be like, I'm soaring, I'm in it, I'm ready for like a sci-fi adventure. If I can get through Gideon the Ninth, then I can pick up Black Sun. Definitely my prize. Not that Gideon the Ninth isn't a prize, I'm really excited to read it, but damn, Black Sun. Okay, so I want to keep this video short, under 12 minutes, that was my goal. So I'm going to end it here. I really enjoyed doing this. If you enjoyed it too, let me know in the comments below. But whether you did or not, I hope you're enjoying the sun or more stars wherever you are. And until next time, bye!